Good evening. It's Vijay here. Today is Sunday, 6th April 2024. Welcome to yet another weekend review of what's happened last week and what we can expect in the coming week. In my opinion, today is one of my more important videos. The reason being that today there is total panic, especially after China increased their tariffs. They put a reciprocal tariffs on US after our market hours. Markets collapsed in the US, collapsed in the in Europe, and the gift nifty also collapsed very badly. Now, subsequent to China's surprise announcement, as the market thinks, it was not surprising at all. We had anticipated it, so I don't think there was anything to feel that something bad is going to happen beyond a point. Yes, of course, it is bad, but beyond a point. Now, the question which comes to people's mind is, should we sell all our stocks tomorrow? Because the financial influencers are going about town saying tomorrow there will be collapse. There will be collapse of more than 20%. It will be something like, the COVID time, and the markets will not recover for more than 3 years. Some of them are expecting it to be something like the 1930s, and therefore it is better not to be in risk assets, because on Friday everything fell down, not only equity, precious metals like gold and silver, other metals. Then you had the dollar falling down, the US 10-year yield falling down, and so oil falling down very badly, which I will talk about it tomorrow. But today the focus is on this question: when to sell your stocks. I am not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm just trying to point out some things as to what and when we should be looking at selling our stocks, especially when all the talking heads, all the financial influencers are talking of very, very grave time. And as I said, they are expecting Great Depression, which will match what happened in the 1930s. So that for another day. But I would say one would want to sell stocks under these circumstances. So your investment thesis has changed. Second one is your company is being acquired. Third one is you need the money soon or you will. Fourth is you need to rebalance your portfolio. And fifth is you identify opportunities to better invest your money elsewhere. So I don't think in this state where the company is not being acquired. So now rebalancing is again an individual decision. So now you're left with first, third, and fifth. First, your investment thesis has changed. So if you have believed that equity is one place where you'll get steady returns and more than your FDs, then the investment thesis can have changed because of what Trump has done. Or you need the money, or you'll soon will need it. So then you need to be concerned, because if the future is very uncertain, future is uncertain anyway, then if future is very uncertain, then you may want to just take some money off the table. And then you identify better opportunities. If people feel equity is extremely risky and precious metals are extremely risky, then you may want to go to FD, which many of the people are talking of. Put your money into FD for the next 3 years and relax. Now, I will go through some facts and I will tell you what I am planning to do. So just bear with me. So before that, there is this rumor going around in the market on social media, which talks of Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, has sold about 234 million worth of shares recently, and on February 20th, 2025. So he was an insider, so he knows everything about the government. So he sold before we could all sell, because shortly after that, the market, after he sold, now of course it has fallen much, much more, fell about close to 10%. So this timing has sparked the crash. So this is what is called knowledge. Really speaking, what Diamond did was, it's according to a pre-arranged trading plan. There is a rule called the Rule 10B5 5-1 plan, which allows insiders times or prices to avoid accusations of insider trading. So these are pre-planned many, many months ago, and they would either sell on date or on rate. Now, so when it came February 20th, he had already decided in October 2023, that he wanted to sell 1 million of his family's 8.6 million shares starting in 2024 for financial diversification and tax planning purposes. And the February 2025 sale aligns with that timeline. So 1.5 years before, that is well before Trump's candidature was announced, or well before Biden retiring from his second. Nobody knew in October 2023, but Jamie Dimon had planned. So he has sold in February 2025 as per the plan starting from 2020. So please don't believe these rumor mongers, however higher ups they may be, however many times they may come on TV. This is a pre-planned sale. It just happens to be a coincidence. So if you really look at these kind of guys, these leading experts, they will believe that the stock market may either go down tomorrow or it may go up. So this is what they are. So they have no clue. They are talking of 3 years we will be in trouble. 10 years we will be in like the 1930 Great Depression. Because of tariffs, the Great Depression started. So tariffs were hit in 31, 32, global tariffs. The stock market peaked out in 29. In fact, France increased the tariffs in 1927, I'm talking of. Yet the markets went up in US, peaked out in 29. The tariff act came only in 31, and global tariffs came up only in 32. So the markets had come down. The Great Depression had started from 29. So to say that tariffs created Great Depression, like the Singapore Prime Minister is talking about, and that thing has gone viral. So even if he's the Prime Minister of Singapore, he can't be bluffing. He has to tell the truth. The truth, the facts are something else. So if somebody wants to get a lesson in history, they can come to me. I'll give them a free lesson. Just check your record books, see the timelines, and just see whether this Prime Minister of Singapore is telling the truth or not. He is telling lies. Clear. I have no doubt about it. Just check the history books. So now you got another guy, Jim Cramer, who is the again biggest financial influencer on CNBC. He is expecting a potential Black Monday scenario, which suggests the S&P 500 could fall 22%. The last time the markets fell 21% on a single day was Black Monday, October 87. So every time some problem is there, people think of Black Monday. Now, the reason why Black Monday happened is because it was extremely overbought and the portfolio insurance simply shot up, and therefore one after another selling started. And prior week itself, the markets had fallen because of this overbought conditions. People don't read history. They don't read. And they just want to make some statement. Kramer should know well. Kramer should have been there at that point of time. He is much older than I am. I know how 1987 happened, though I was not in the stock market. I'm talking of the US stock market. To expect 22% on what basis? What has changed for them to expect 22%? On the other hand, you have Israel meeting Trump Monday to look at the tariffs, relook at tariffs. You have Vietnam, which has said that they will put zero tariffs. You have just now we have got news from Taiwan, which is saying they are going to put zero tariffs. So reciprocal tariffs, one by one country, excepting China, have now come to a situation, including the UK Prime Minister. He is not talking of reciprocal tariffs. Singapore is not talking of reciprocal tariffs. So all of them have accepted the scenario. So I don't see why you should expect a 22% fall on Monday. Okay, let's assume it falls 22%. Then what? Please note, in October 1987, the market fell 22%. The next day onwards, it started going up. We never saw the next day's bottom was the bottom. Black Monday, the Tuesday's bottom was the bottom forever. So I would be welcoming a 22% fall, because if that almost certainly it will be the bottom if it is going to go to 22%. First of all, I don't believe in the 22%. Then there is one other guy who says, no, it will not be like 1987 or 2020. It will be a hybrid of 1929, 1972, 2000 and 2007. On what basis? What is it which has changed for it to fall like this? Then there is Bill Ackman, a famous hedge fund manager. He says, I won't be surprised if on Monday President will postpone the implementation of the reciprocal tariffs to give him time to make deals. The risk of not doing so is that massive increase in uncertainty drives the economy into a recession, potentially a severe one. Now, why should President Trump do it on Monday? First of all, the tariffs, the reciprocal tariffs will come only on 9th of April. So Monday is only 7th. So only on Wednesday night, if I remember right, will the tariffs come. So he can take a decision on Tuesday. He can take a decision on Wednesday. He can or he need not take a decision even on Monday. So there is no reason that President Trump should do it on Monday. Now, look at Bessent's in latest interview. I put a link here. This will give an impression of what Trump's idea of tariffs are. Not reciprocal. I'm talking of just tariffs. Okay, there are two components to it. People have forgotten. There is a normal tariff of 10%, and there is a reciprocal tariff, which for India is 26%. People are thinking Trump will go back on what he has done. If you look at what Trump has said in the latest is, China has hit much harder than the US has been hit much harder, not even close. So basically, he is not talking of reducing the tariffs. As I keep saying, there are two tariffs. One is the normal tariff, which is across the board, everybody is put 10%, and the remaining is the 26%, 40%, 10%, 15%. Just analyze what Trump has done. He's what we call the Ded Shani. In Bombay lingo, it means a smart aleck. He's made everybody discuss about the reciprocal tariffs while everyone is coolly ignoring the 10% base tariffs, which is put on all countries. Thus, our total tariffs in India should likely be 10% plus 20%. The tariff is, while the anchors are fighting 6% or 27%, it's actually 36%. So what Trump will do, I'm hoping to explain a little later. But so people are asking me, will there be a bloodbath on Monday? Because everybody is talking about bloodbath. Everybody thinks tomorrow, Monday, there will be a global crash. So I've gone through various podcasts, Twitter messages for the past 3 days. My understanding is that Trump, whatever he has done, has done in the interest of US. See, we put tariffs on US, but when they put tariffs, it is wrong. But when we put tariffs, it is okay. How can it be possible? I've mentioned this before. So whatever it is, if tariffs are not going to get removed on Monday, obviously the market very uncertainty, and these may be days. The reciprocal tariffs are significantly. Now, why am I saying this? Why am I saying that they could be selling? See, I've been always bullish, but I am bullish for the medium term to long term. So when I say medium term, I've been saying April 15th, things will be better. August 15th, things will get better than April 15th, and then we'll have to see at that point of time. If you're going to ask me tomorrow, most likely market will open lower unless there's some other news, and there could be selling because everybody's been conditioned to sell because all the big money is bearish on markets. So what will happen if everybody is going to be bearish and if everybody is coming to sell? Let's say if I'm a buyer, what will I do? I'll wait. I'll ask for my price. I'll say 20% lower, 25% lower, 30% lower. Why should I buy from you at higher prices? So this is what we call the bull, the buyer strike or the bull strike. The buyer will go on strike. He'll say, boss, I don't want to buy at these levels. So that is tomorrow. Therefore, the markets may fall tomorrow, day after tomorrow. It may fall for 3 days. I don't know. We don't know whether it will be for 3 days or more. Before that, I'm very confident that whenever the dust settles down, I strongly believe it will. Indian markets will do better than global markets, especially the financial sector. Bank Nifty is still strong. So what am I doing? Previously, what I used to do is, if such a situation comes, I will close my positions and go heavily short. And I'll be the first to go short. I did several times in 1992, 2000, and 2008. But I'm not very sure whether this is the time to do something like that. There are two reasons for not doing it. Because I believe that we have a portfolio which is consisting mainly of domestic stocks, 60%, and precious metals, which is 40%. So I don't want to be there by trying to jump in. As I said, for a couple of reasons. One is my family portfolio, in my opinion, is relatively safe. And we don't know whether the downtrend will last for 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, 30 years. Or just look at what happened on June 4, 2025. When the results came of the elections, everybody went to sell left, right, center. Stocks fell 25%, index fell 10%. By the end of the day, index had bounced back, and that day's bottom was never got reached. Same thing like 1987, the Tuesday's bottom was never reached in the future. Same thing in March of 2020, the panic bottom which we saw again never broken. The maximum panic happened on everything seemed bad. So tomorrow, in my opinion, will be a maximum panic day because everybody is now wise to the fact they want to sell. Finally, I would say there are old traders and there are bold traders, but there are very few old bold traders, and I am an old trader. When I was a trader, now I don't want to get into that. I don't want to become a Ded Shana. So I will wait. I will not panic because there is nothing one can get by panicking, and we don't know whether these things will be permanent. As I keep saying, Trump is like a magician. He has done a trick. What is the trick he has done? He has put 10% global tariff and different set of tariffs. Tomorrow negotiation is only on those the higher tariffs. So let us say if Trump says, okay, we will not put any reciprocal tariffs, we'll make it zero. What Vietnam is asking for, and like what Korea is asking for. The 10% will remain. If you listen to Besant's speech, the Treasury Secretary's speech, he's only talking of the 10% tariffs. He's not talking of the reciprocal tariffs. So which means they have a game plan. It's most likely they will forego the reciprocal tariffs or bring it down significantly for both Trump to claim his victory and for the other country. Like if Mr. Modi will claim victory, we remove the reciprocal tariffs, but we will end up paying 10% tariffs, which is what they're looking for. And that 10% tariff will be permanent, in my opinion, and that is where they'll get their revenue from. So you'll have to understand real politics, as they say, and I feel that is what will happen. I am prepared for it. I am not panicking. See, while I'm hopeful that this is what will happen, I am also prepared for the worst case. I don't think the worst case, even if it happens, will last for a long time. India is best suited because the oil prices are down, DXY is down, and US 10-year yield is down. Indian 10-year yield is down, which is good. Rupee is strengthening, which is good. Inflation is down, which is very good. And the Indian authorities are ready to act like RBI, which I'm sure they will act in the coming days. And we should see reduction in interest rates, I think, which we should do well. Remember, tariffs affect all the countries. And even in those reciprocal tariffs, we are at the lower end. So I won't be surprised if Trump decides to keep the 10% tariff like a magician. People will not look at that. But everybody is going to compete on the 26%, 30% tariffs. He'll say, okay, we'll not put 26. I'm being very kind to you. Let's make it only 5%. So 10 plus 5, 15%. Still, he'll get the money. Even if it makes it zero, he'll still get 10%. I keep repeating this. Please think about this. So it is not going to be 36, not 26%. It is, first of all, it's 36%. Out of 36%, I'm expecting him to eliminate the 26%. And then you will have the base tariff of 10%. It is a win-win for him. He'll make you feel you're winning on that reciprocal, but he'll get the base tariff. So I am bullish. I continue to be hopeful, but it may take some time. It may not suddenly. If it goes up tomorrow, it's something else. But I am not so concerned about tariffs staying, especially the reciprocal, for a long time. So whatever you do in the next week, please consult your advisor. I am just an ordinary man who has looked at the analysis and truthfully telling you what I think and what we will do as far as our personal portfolio is concerned. Thank you for joining me.